Liam Lawson is quickly becoming a major talking point in the F1 paddock. The New Zealander's position is under serious threat after a string of underwhelming performances following his demotion. With Isack Hadjar managing to score points in multiple outings, questions are beginning to swirl around whether Lawson was ever the rising star Red Bull hoped for. Combined with his rough stint at the main Red Bull team, the clock may be ticking on his time in Formula One. Lawson's 2025 campaign has spiraled from disappointing to dire. After logging just 2 main Grand Prix entries and a sprint for Red Bull, a tenure that ranks among the shortest in the team's history, he returned to Racing Bulls hoping to reset his career. While he's shown glimpses of talent, Hadjar's 2 points finishes, including a pair of P10s, have kept Racing Bulls somewhat competitive in the midfield battle. That's led many to believe the team might soon need to make way for fresh talent, specifically Arvid Lindblad. Lindblad, currently competing in Formula 2, is a name on everyone's lips. He's firmly at the top of Red Bull's watch list, and with only 2 seats to go around, tough decisions are inevitable. At present, Lawson appears to be on the losing end of that equation. Recent remarks from Helmut Marko suggest the focus may be shifting toward Lindblad, and he's not the only one thinking that way. Former F1 driver Juan Pablo Montoya has weighed in, doubting whether Lawson will even make it to the end of the season if his form doesn't improve. Montoya didn't hold back. Referring to the Miami sprint race incident with Alonso, he said that unless Lawson turns things around soon, a mid-season replacement wouldn't surprise him in the slightest. He pointed out that Lawson was given a huge opportunity last year, even earning the coveted Red Bull seat, a move many felt should have gone to Yuki Tsunoda. Though Lawson's adaptability helped him edge out his teammate at the time, he hasn't delivered when it mattered most. There was hope that Lawson might bounce back at Racing Bulls in the same way Pierre Gasly did in 2019. But that redemption arc is looking unlikely right now. Montoya even likened Red Bull's approach to Alpine's recent moves, suggesting that if a driver isn't performing, they need to be swapped out for someone either already delivering or filled with untapped potential. He also noted the mental toll Lawson's Red Bull stint may have taken, saying the experience likely left lasting psychological scars. And if Lawson can't recover mentally and physically, Red Bull won't hesitate to move on. That's simply how their system works. Enter Arvid Lindblad. The young Brit has turned heads across the paddock by becoming the youngest driver to win an F2 race. Christian Horner and Helmut Marko have had their eyes on him since his junior days. Unlike the search for another Max Verstappen, Marko made it clear Red Bull is now hunting for the next champion, and Lindblad may be it. Marko praised Lindblad's maturity and pace, even drawing favorable comparisons with past prodigies like Jack Doohan, Oscar Piastri, and Oliver Behrman. Unlike Lawson or even Hadjar, Lindblad is expected to receive ample testing in older F1 machinery, something that could help him transition smoothly into Formula One, possibly as early as 2026. So what does all this mean for Liam Lawson? Not much good, unfortunately. Despite being nurtured by Red Bull and given prime opportunities, his place in F1 is looking increasingly precarious. If Liam Lawson doesn't manage to turn things around soon, we could be witnessing his final chapter in Formula One. While his background in DTM, where he impressed much like Alex Albon once did, means he'll likely remain active in motorsport, his F1 seat is undeniably hanging by a thread. This precarious situation isn't just due to his recent form or the rise of Arvid Lindblad. Another major factor is the growing admiration Helmut Marko has for Isack Hadjar. Although the French rookie had a rocky start to the season, including a now infamous formation lap crash, he's managed to recover in impressive fashion. Marko initially criticized Hadjar's emotional reaction after that incident, calling the moment embarrassing. But just a few races later, Hadjar silenced critics by securing points finishes and demonstrating strong mental resilience, something Marko openly praised. Marko even referred to Hadjar as one of the standout discoveries of this early part of the season. He highlighted how, despite being unfamiliar with many of the circuits, the young Frenchman adapted quickly, remained consistent, and showed maturity beyond his years. With clean performances, solid tire management, and competitive lap times, Hadjar has begun making a strong case for a future Red Bull seat, especially if the Yuki Tsunoda experiment doesn't go as planned. Hajar himself isn't hiding his ambitions. When asked how he would react if Red Bull came calling, he made it clear he wouldn't hesitate. "If they call, of course I would answer. It's Red Bull, it's the big team," he said, adding that even if he didn't feel entirely ready, he would still say yes. His confidence, combined with his performances, has clearly caught the attention of the Red Bull hierarchy. This leaves Lawson in a vulnerable position. Without points on the board and momentum fading fast, his future at Racing Bulls and in Formula One more broadly is at serious risk. He once had dreams of being promoted back to the senior team, but now that vision seems increasingly unlikely. Still, it's worth noting that Hajar isn't entirely safe either. Red Bull is known for its ruthlessness when it comes to underperforming drivers. The difference is that Hajar is younger, on an upward trajectory, and seems to have more untapped potential. That's why most of the scrutiny is falling on Lawson right now. Each race weekend is a test, and as of now, Lawson is failing to build the kind of momentum he desperately needs. Red Bull's desire to give Lindblad more seat time, evidenced by recent TPCs, testing of previous cars sessions, only adds to the pressure. The writing may be on the wall. If things don't improve, Lawson could be replaced as early as later this season. Of course, expectations and reality don't always align, and motorsport is unpredictable. But one thing is clear: Red Bull is actively evaluating its options, and Lawson's window to prove himself is closing fast. So the big question is, will Liam manage to hold on to his seat, or is Arvid Lindblad poised to step in by the end of 2025? Comments below. And once you're done, don't forget to click on the video that's popping up on your screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe my channel.